We are going to be doing color math, which is color mixing. First, you need to set up your paper. You can either print a copy if you're working at home or set one up like this on your sketchbook page. The three primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. There are three secondary colors, which is made by mixing a primary plus a primary. Our three secondary colors are orange, green, and violet. So the primary red, adding the primary yellow, makes the secondary orange. Yellow plus blue equals green. And there are actually two ways to make violet. If you add red plus blue, it gives you more of a muddy, darker type violet. But if you use a color called magenta with blue, without using red, it makes, in my opinion, a prettier violet. There's magenta. To make the tertiary or intermediate colors, you mix one primary color plus a secondary color to make the tertiary color. They will all be compound words like red-orange or red-violet. The primary color always comes first. So red primary plus orange secondary equals red-orange. Red and violet make red-violet. Yellow and green make yellow-green. Yellow and orange make yellow-orange. Blue and green make blue-green. And blue and violet make blue-violet. There are four neutral colors, and we are going to be mixing two of them. The four neutral colors are black, white, gray, and brown. In your paint tray, you will have the primary colors along with magenta and black and white. So the two that we will need to mix are gray and brown. You need to write out the words on the lower line because up above B meant blue and G meant green. So black and white makes gray, and to make brown, you will actually mix the three primary colors together until you can get brown. And you saw I wrote that in the wrong place by accident. So there's the paint tray. You're going to be using a small brush and mixing a very small amount of paint. I like to work smarter, not harder. So I am going to take the red that is already on my brush. I didn't wash it. And I'm going to mix yellow with it to make orange. And before I wash my brush, I'm going to go down and add more yellow to make yellow-orange, even though I'm skipping around. And then I'm going to add more red to make red-orange. Notice how I'm mixing a small amount on the paint tray. Carefully painting in the boxes, although not stressing about being perfect. Notice how I'm mixing the colors on the paint tray and not on the actual paper. So I wash my brush. I'm going to take a clean brush and put yellow in the yellow box. And then work on making green, yellow green, and blue green. If you use the darker blue paint, then it makes more of an army green type color. It is not as bright. So I looked to see which color I actually had so that I could use that. So what I'm actually going to do here is wash my brush and show you what the other blue and yellow makes it look like. So this blue makes a truer green. I had more yellow on it, so I'm going to use it in the yellow-green section. Mixing just a small amount, and there you can see the difference between what the yellow looks like with each of the colors of blue that we have. Then I added more blue to make it blue-green, and between those three, the blue-green should be more blue than the green, and the yellow-green should be more yellow than the green. So now I have washed my brush for the third time, and I'm adding blue. Then I'm going to take red and blue and make a violet. And this turns out to be a duller, more muddy type of a violet. So I'm going to wash my brush again and then use magenta with blue to make the other violet. That right there looks blue-violet, so I added more magenta. Then I can add more blue and put it for blue-violet. And then add more violet and paint it for red-violet. Notice how it is more red than violet as opposed to my regular violet. Then to finish up with the neutrals, I have a clean brush again with a teeny bit of black and a little bit of white. I'm mixing a very small amount of paint because these rectangles are very small. So there is gray, and you can make a lighter gray or a darker gray. And to make the brown, I'm using red, yellow, and blue, trying my best to keep the tray, the paint tray, in your view. So I mix a little bit of red, yellow, and blue. If it turns out a little bit violet, then add more yellow because that's the complement. If it turns out a little too greenish, add red, which is the complement. If it turns out kind of a brownish orange, then add more blue, which is the complement of orange. Have fun mixing your colors.